Welcome to the Board Game Network. I'm going to be teaching you how to play Seven Wonders Duel. This is a two-player version of the Seven Wonders board game designed by Antoine Bauza and Bruno Cathala. Antoine Bauza did the board game. This was actually nominated for an Origin Award 2016 in the card game category, and it's still about a month away from the announcement, so we don't know if this one's won or not. It plays two players, 10 years and up, in about half an hour. I've got the setup here for this. We put the military track out here. We put these markers of the 2 and the 5 here, 2 and a 5. We mix up these progress tokens and randomly pick 5 of them and place them face up there. The other ones get discarded. Everybody gets 7 coins to start with. You separate the ages. There's 3 ages in this game. The first age, which is the brown cards. The second age is the blue cards. And the third age is the purple cards. They have a corresponding number at the bottom. And you remove 3 of, you mix them up, remove 3 from each deck and take them. They get discarded, so you don't exactly know what all cards are in the game and are going to show up. You deal them out in the way that it shows on the back of the manual. White is face up, so you got 2 face up, 3 face down, 4 face up, 5 face down, 6 face up. And that's what I have right here. But in age 2 and age 3, the shape's a little bit different. So you just have to look at the back of the manual for that. And in the third age, after you've removed your 3, you actually have some guild cards, which is the darker purple. You mix those up, and you take 3 of them and mix 3 of them into the third age deck. And they do something a little bit different, so then you mix those in. And then you're set up. And so at this point you take your wonders, your wonder cards, you mix those up, you deal out 4, and whoever the first player is, he's going to draw 1 of those. The second player is going to take 2, and then the first player is going to take 1. So you're both going to have 2 at that point. Then you're going to deal off 4 more. And then this time the second player gets to go first, and he takes 1. The first player takes 2, and the second player takes 1. So you both end up with 4 wonders at the end of the drafting, the 2, and then the other 4 get discarded. So that's how you start this game. You can do one of 3 things in this game. You can construct a building, and these are your building cards here. You just take one and you put it into play, and that's constructing a building. There is a cost. I'll talk about that in a little bit. That's one of your options. You can take one of these cards that face up, and you can discard it, and you get money for that. So that's a second option. You can construct a wonder, which is you have these 4 available that you have drafted. You have to pay the cost, and then you take whichever card you want off of here and you put it underneath to show that that one has been, that you have developed that wonder. And once 7 wonders have been built, the 8th one gets discarded. You can only get to 7 wonders. So that's the 3 ways you can play. And then once you have used all of these cards from the first, then you put the second wonder out in its shape and you play through those. And then you put the third in its shape and you play through those. And so that's how you get through the 3. Now the construction cost for building a building is printed here on the left. And so this glass shows 1 coin. So I would have to pay 1 coin if I wanted to take that one and build that one on my turn. And maybe my opponent, he would want to build this one, and this one costs 1 coin also. So he puts that in play, and that one actually produces stone. So his produces stone, mine produces glass. Now some of these don't have coins. I've explained to you that you can get more coins. You have to take one of these and you discard it. And what that does is it gives you 2 coins plus the number of yellow cards you have in play. You don't have any yellows here, but let's say you had a yellow in play and then you take and discard this one. Now you get 3 coins. Or if you had 2 in play, you get 4 coins. So the more yellow cards you have in play, the more you can get in money for discarding cards off of the pyramid. Some of these have other products on here, and this is wood. So I don't have any wood. My opponent doesn't have any wood. How are we going to play this one? Well, you can actually buy and pay for this to put this into play, even though you don't produce it. And the cost of it is 2 for each icon, plus the number that your opponent produces. So he doesn't produce any wood, so it would cost me 2 to pull this military card out. This is a red card, it's military. If he produced wood, it would cost 1 more for every wood icon he has. So it gets more expensive the more wood that my opponent produces. This one gets more expensive for me to pull out. So that one moves the military token 1, because there's 1 token, it would move it 1 towards my opponent. I am coming into his capital, so every time I do a military card, it's pushing towards him, and he might play one that pushes back towards me. So if you have to buy that, and it's 2 plus the number that your opponent has in his brown and gray cards, because that's the brown and the gray ones are the ones that produce some kind of either a raw material or a finished good. So it's 2 plus the number of brown and gray card icons that they have. That's called trading. You also can chain, and chaining is using this white icon in the upper right hand corner. This card here, since it's got a white horseshoe, that tells me that some card later in the game can be put out for free if I have this card in play. And to find out what those cards is, you turn to the back of this book. This shows you every card in the game, every card for age 1, 2, 3, all the guilds. And it shows you the chain cards. So this one is a stable, and it shows me that the stable uses the white horseshoe. And in age 2, there's a horse breeder. So you can put the horse breeder out for free if I have the stable. And it also shows you the cost to put it out if you don't have the stable. There are ones that age 1 change to age 3. There's ones that change age 2 chain to age 3. So it shows you all of the cards. Very helpful to know whether you should try to get that one or not. And once both cards below a card get removed, the card underneath flips over automatically. So you have to keep watching when a card gets taken, whether it completely opens up the card above it or more than one card above it, then they get flipped over. And then production. Production is what the card produces. This one produces a military, so it moves the military token. This one produces glass. And so if there's a card that comes up that needs glass, I can use this glass to pay for the other card. And that's how you can eventually start paying for the cards without paying coins for them. Let's flip some of these over like we have been playing for a while. And you'll notice that this one doesn't have no cost on it. There's no icon whatsoever, so that's a free one. All you do is take it, and that produces wood. Now you'll notice some of them have, this one's got 1 coin here with a brick icon. That means instead of me paying 2 plus the number that my opponent is producing, I can actually buy that good for only 1 coin per icon that I need. So if I need 3 brick, it only costs me 3 coins instead of the 2 plus the number. And if I'm producing 1, then I might only need to buy 2, because I'm already producing 1 or something. Okay, so you go through that and you buy those up. You buy the second age, you buy the third age. Then you have the win conditions. Remember, there's the 3 conditions. There's the military, there's the scientific, and then there's the civilian. The military victory happens anytime, and that's if this token gets moved all the way into the capital of your opponent. If that happens, immediately you have a military victory and that game's over. The second way of winning is a scientific victory. And the scientific victory is these green cards. You look at the green cards and they have different icons. They have 7 different icons on them. If you have 6 different icons on that you've built, then you win a scientific victory immediately. 6 different ones. If you ever build 2 of the same icon, you get to take one of these progress tokens. And these progress tokens all do something different. So all you gotta do is flip to the reference at the back here and it will explain to you what these progress tokens do. There's a page there, or on the help sheet there's a page, part of the page there explains what each of these does. So just look it up. This one gives you another turn, but you get to choose which one you want if you get 2 of the same icon on a scientific card. Then the civilian victory happens if you haven't done a military or a scientific one by the end of the game. Once you've gotten through the 3rd age, then there's a civilian victory and you just simply count up all the victory points in the game and see who has won. And there's victory points everywhere in this game. On the military track here, depending on where this is at, there are victory points listed on the side. So if somebody's over here, if there's 5 points and this track is on my side, it gives 5 points to my opponent because he's pushed it over there, so he gets 5 victory points. There are victory points on the buildings. Here's a blue card here that has victory points on it, so that would be 3 victory points for me. There are progress tokens that have victory points on them. This one's got victory points. So you look at the progress tokens, and if you don't understand what the icon is, make sure you look. But you can get victory points that way. You can get victory points from the wonders. These have victory points listed on here. The cost is on the left on the wonders, and what the benefit is on the right. So you would add up the number in the wreath. That's your victory points. And you also add up the number of coins, and for every 3 coins you have, you get 1 victory point. So to do the civilian victory, you just add up all of those victory points and all of the victory points on your cards, all the victory points here, all the victory points here, the victory points on your progress token, on your coins, 1 point for every 3, and total those victory points, and then whoever's got the most victory points is the winner. So that's how you win a civilian victory. And you'll notice all these different colors of cards. The brown cards are your raw materials. You'll notice that they produce raw materials. Your gray cards are manufactured good or finished goods, something that's been manufactured. Your blue ones are mainly victory points, blue here. Your red ones are military. Your green ones are science. But this one also has victory points. You'll see that in there. And your purple ones are guilds. And those are only in the 3rd age. But you need to look those up in the reference here. They all do something different. Like this gives you 2 victory points based on some condition. This one gives you 1 victory point for every 3 coins. So that's in addition to the coins that you got victory points from. So that's how you play 7 Wonders Duel. I want to wish these guys good luck on their Origin nomination. This is a fun game. It's a short game. Plays very much like 7 Wonders, the board game, but designed for 2 players. Make sure you tune into all of the Board Game Network videos to show you how to play games.